I'd want to punch the wall with my face.
You're listening to The Rob Dibble Show.
All right, back on The Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive, and you're basically the judge. I feel like you're handing out our sentences here.
I'm a part of these sentences as well. So if I'm killing you, I'm killing me. Who we had, gentlemen. This feels like weeks ago that we were hanging out at the clubhouse on Main and Glastonbury giving our picks to everybody. I watched a replay today. If you want to watch any of the show, some stuff that you may have missed, some of the best segments we put up there on the YouTube channel. Go to Rob Dibble Show on YouTube, and you can find it there. I was rewatching the Who You Got from Friday. Dude, we were on it. We were pretty much the show to listen to if you wanted to know what happened in the big game. I'm telling you. Now, we didn't call overtime or anything like that. We didn't call McCole Hardman, anything like that. But we definitely had some winners for the people out there, so you are welcome in advance. One thing we didn't get right was the coin toss. We all went tails.
We all went tails, never fails, and heads came up.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, you stink!
Yeah. Kind of messed up a bunch of 10-way parlays right off the bat for me. Thought tails for sure. Gosh. Scratch that off. So it makes us 3-5 when we all agree in 2024. That's not good. Oh, then what's next? Oh, Reba McEntire. Oh, Reba McEntire.
Yes.
So I was making sure I had the stopwatch out, and it's kind of tough when to start the stopwatch. Do you guys think you should start the stopwatch when the music comes on? Do you think you should start the stopwatch after
when she sings?
Right when she starts singing. That's what I did. So I hit boom as soon as "Oh Say" came out of Reba's mouth. And if she wasn't at 80 seconds, 120 mark. No, 110 mark.
She was 127.
She was at the 70-second mark. Then when she hit Home of the Brave. Now, the over and under for us was 87.5. You two went over, I went under. So in my calculations, she was at 70 when we went to Home of the Brave. If we didn't stretch out Home of the Brave for another 30 seconds, it finished up on my clock at 137, meaning a 97-second national anthem. And if you listen, Dibs, to that Home of the Brave, it almost felt like, I don't know, who's that?
She had money on it?
Like Jose Altuve gave her a buzzer to wear, and he's going to buzz it as soon as she hits the 91-second mark. And it just felt like she was really dragging that just the last line. Like the rest of the song went like clockwork.
Well, the last line was delivered twice.
Kind of.
Yes.
But remember, it's TV time for her. I had said Toby Keith passed this week.
And Kurt made this mention as well. She's used to doing concerts, not just one song.
Exactly. And when you're doing a live version of your music or a song, you usually go longer than you go shorter.
You guys were right. I was wrong. You know your Reba. I do not. By the way, Post Malone's America the Beautiful was great.
He was fantastic.
Another part.
By the way, him wearing a Cowboys jersey the whole game.
Oh, really?
Numero uno. Huge Cowboys fan. Like Post even more now.
Tears were running down my face. And America's Beautiful, man. Simple, too. He did a really simple version of it. But there was no bet on that. It was bets for him to look bad or bets for him to mess the song up. But he came out on top on that one. First to score. Oh, you guys with your first to scores. Now, Dibs was all on the Travis Kelce train, picking him. Not only, Dibs said, don't even worry about the first to score. Anytime touchdown. If Vegas did win any money on the weekend, it's for all you Swifties like Dibs picking Kelce for an anytime touchdown. That did not happen. Now, first touchdown, not the first score, but the first touchdown, Kurt Kaplan hit it on the head. He said CMC, Christian McCaffrey, will score the first touchdown. It won't be the first score. It wasn't the first score, but he did say he would score
Yeah.
the first touchdown. If you went to the book and played that, I think it was kind of a, I don't know, it wasn't that big of a
Probably not that big of a
but
stretch.
Still, good call, Kurt. Kurt hit that as Juwan Jennings threw the pass to Christian McCaffrey for the first touchdown. Now, the first score, I tried telling you guys, I gave everybody the right answer to this. I said that soccer player, Jake Moody, is going to run out there and feel really great about himself through the rest of the game because he's going to put the first points on the board, and that's exactly what had happened. You are welcome out there if you hit that on the nose at the book. Big game score. Dibs threw out a couple of scores. He said if the Niners were going to win, 31-24 was going to be the
I
score.
didn't throw that score out there. My score was 28-21.
28-21 Chiefs is what Dibs ended up with after we talked around a bunch of other scores, but that is the official, which you weren't that far off. 25-22 was the official one. Kurt had 27-18 Chiefs, so he wasn't that far off as well, just 2 points on both sides. I was 27-24 Chiefs. Now, I hit the point deficit and the team, but I was off. Man, if there would have been a couple more safeties. We just had a safety per. I don't know if I would have been here today. Honestly, had a lot of money on that.
That extra point, by the way,
I
the
know.
over-under was 47.5. Sticks at 47 because in overtime you don't need to kick the extra point.
They're great.
And Moody missed an extra point.
Oh,
How does Vegas do it?
I don't know.
That's incredible.
Dude, I was on some college basketball this weekend on over and unders. That's like nobody in their right mind would even be paying attention to this game except for grandmas, moms, and dads. And Vegas is like on the half with these over
That's
and unders. Insane. I don't know how they do it, Dibs. I'll tell you what they do. They get all the pups in their community together and they have them pick out over and unders for them. Because, by the way, BTW, pups 8-0. Yeah. It's pretty amazing, man.
It is amazing.
It's pretty amazing. Gatorade Color was the next thing we did on Friday, and who you got? Gatorade Color. Dibs went blue. Kurt went red. I went lemon lime. It turned out to be purple.
Why did you do that? Why?
Also turned out to be the same color Gatorade they put on Andy Reid last year when they won the Super Bowl.
A coincidence? I think not.
I feel bad for our research team, though. We should have been on that. Should have looked that up.
Okay, let's make a note of that when the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl next year.
Making a note of that. I'm also got to make a note that we all picked Chiefs, so that all goes towards our total. We are now 4-5 in 2024, and I say that because I'm reminded that we all picked Patrick Mahomes
to be
as
the
MVP.
MVP.
Look at that! Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The Rob Dibble Show gave you the MVP. The Rob Dibble Show gave you the winner. The Rob Dibble Show is pretty close on the score of the game.
Yeah.
Now, this is my only ask for those who played on the Who You Got, or if you went Chiefs to your local establishment because the pups went Chiefs, you're welcome.
Yeah.
The way you could pay them back is take, say, 10% of that winnings and go ahead and donate it to CT Humane Society over there in Newington. And then I think we're all good with the world.
That would be the right thing to do.
8-0, dude. 8-0, but I'm very proud of our show. Listen to all these other jabronis on radio,
absolutely.
all these experts, whatever, dude. Get out of here. Listen to Who You Got on Fridays on the Rob Dibble Show if you want to know what's going to happen on the weekend. Vegas ended up losing money, 80% of the money on KC. They can lose every once in a while, can't they? Can't
Absolutely.
the people win? These sharps. More like the dolls. One thing's got to be said, too, about this game. Not a lot of people are talking about the injuries.
Oh, my God.
Greenlaw going down?
Greenlaw, if you watch him before he blows out his Achilles, he stretches. He, stretches, his calves, and then he takes one step and blows out.
He already had 3 tackles in the short amount of time he played. He is a wrecker, and you have to think that things got a little bit easier when he was not on the field. Debo was playing with the bum ankle and a bum shoulder all game.
And then he was grabbing his hammy. He popped his hammy during the game.
His left hammy, and they didn't think he was coming back. I don't know what is in that man as far as like pain tolerance goes, but that guy is one of the toughest dudes in the NFL. Him not being 100% was huge. Feliciano, lineman, goes down in the second half for the San Francisco 49ers. That was a big deal.
Elbow.
Oh, yeah. No. Saw that replay, too. Ugh. And Kittle. Kittle had an injury in the second half. So, like, 49ers, during the course of the game, got really banged up.
They got wrecked.
Really banged up.
It was very physical.
Very fortunate for the Kansas City Chiefs to be dealing with that. But I'm surprised about your kickers. I thought the kickers really did do a good job.
They did. Well, Butker's a Hall of Famer. That
57-yarder at that moment. That was one of the longest kicks in Super Bowl history.
Got them on the board.
In the hold.
Yep. High
snap. Had to bring it down, keep it low. That was amazing. The Moody extra point being blocked too. That was right after that 57-yarder. Oh man, you know how hard it is to block extra points.
It is, but he hit it with his ankle. He didn't even hit it with his foot.
Jay Feely, he was all over that.
It was a bad approach.
So tough.
But you know what? It's in those type of games. It's who can control their emotions and who can be calm. And I thought that both teams, man, the first half, they went after each other. They were hitting each other hard. Every tackle the 49ers laid out on Kansas City seemed like there was one where it was like helmet to helmet with Kelsey. Didn't get called. There's a couple of plays that I thought should have been called, didn't get called.
I like how it didn't get called.
Yeah, and you know, I know a lot of people had the video at the end of the game in the fourth quarter when Bosa was being held. Listen, people, there's somebody being held on every play. There's somebody being held on every play, and so you know, I thought the officials did a very nice job.
I agree.
With that football game. They let these guys earn it, and they didn't give it away.
I thought there was some offensive picking, some pass interference that could have been called, but they let that go too. It's just tough on the outsides. It was a grown man football.
Turf wasn't awful.
Turf was great.
Yep.
Turf was wonderful. Gronk missed his kick.
I thought he did intentionally.
I'm done with this.
No,
I feel
that's
tricked.
Garbage. Absolutely.
I'm bamboozled. They did give a Carl Weathers shout out.
Shout out. Absolutely.
That was cool.
Yep.
One thing I did not notice, I noticed this when it happened, but I just saw on one of the websites was pointing this out. I noticed how they gave all the sign language people an announcement that, you know, they were going to do signs. And then I wondered, why didn't they ever put those people on actual television?
A lot of people wondered that.
So there's this big backlash from the deaf community that's like, hey, thanks for, you know, pointing those people out, but it would have been really great to actually see
them. Yes.
You know,
we're deaf, not blind.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of that. So if CBS messed anything up, I'd say they messed that up pretty hardcore.
I thought McManus told Tony Romo to not be such a jabroni. I thought he was on top of his game. Total jabroni the whole game.
Oh, gosh, man. Tony Romo.
You would think he'd had won more than 2 playoff games the way he spouts off. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah, my fandom has been waning since the days have gone on.
The bar was yelling to put the jukebox back on and shut
goodness.
off the TV audio.
Dude, it's just enough. He overanalyzes everything to death. And everybody's the greatest in sliced bread. It's like, dude, not everybody's that great. And not everybody's having a great game.
Kansas City fans are particularly upset from Tony Romo in the third quarter. Creed Humphreys had made a low snap to Patrick Mahomes, and Tony Romo said, that is so uncharacteristic of Creed Humphreys in that low snap. And then Chief fans pondered, does this guy ever watch us play? It happens every game with Creed Humphreys. It's kind of a thing. And there was like, well, this guy obviously doesn't prep. This guy just shows up in the booth and then wings it.
I played quarterback in the NFL. I don't need to prepare.
It was, I don't know. I don't know how many more he's going to have as far as Super Bowl calls.
I think Fox has it next year, thankfully. But hey, it's like
I was mad about the deaf thing.
I like Jim Nantz. He just gets out of the way. Jim does his thing, and you don't even know Jim Nantz is there. Romo knows it's all about him, and you got to listen to him or not. And that's why I turned him off and turn on Westwood One. Kurt Warner's tremendous, by the way.
Yeah, Kurt Warner was in there. Tony Baselli was a part of this. Kevin Harlan as well at the beginning
Kevin's
of the game.
one of the best.
They did a great job on
Ian Eagle, Kevin Harlan. I could listen to those dudes all day.
Did you watch/listen to the halftime show?
I did. I watched all of it, actually, because I was kind of locked in a room and, everybody was around me and stuff, and women loved it. When Usher took his shirt off, made it bad for all of us dad bod guys.
I mean, how old is that guy? He's older than I am.
Pretty old. He's in great shape.
50? Is he in his 50s?
I think so.
That's amazing.
But I think we were on the prop bets, Alicia Keys, Little John. I didn't think Ludacris was going to be there. Ludacris was there.
I thought Lil Jon looked great.
Lil Jon looks great. He's got to be about my age. He's got to be about 60. He still looks
Alicia
old.
Keys was great. She wonderful.
Looks great. She's awesome anyway, dude. She's so good in that movie where they're in Vegas. It's a shooting up movie with Ryan Reynolds and who's the late guy that was in Goodfellas?
Hangover?
No, it's not Hangover. This is a shoot 'em up movie. And
Hangover 2.
No, it's Smoking Aces.
Oh, yeah.
And she looks amazing in that, and she looked just as amazing last night.
Yeah, she did a great job. The whole thing. And the roller skates. Dude, you got on roller skates on a stage
Brings me
like
back
that?
to high school, bro. Right here in Connecticut, we did a lot of roller skating.
I was
fantastic.
nervous as all get
Those
out
are the
for that.
original roller
Oh,
skates.
yeah.
Then they came out with the inline skating and roller blades. But before that, those roller skates. There's a couple of African American dudes that do like dancing and stuff now.
Oh, yeah.
That's out on YouTube. Watch it because I think they're amazing. But that's the way things used to be in the 70s. Everybody wanted to roller skate.
Great dancing. It really was great.
Yeah.
And that's Usher, man. Usher's great singer, great
Yeah,
dancer.
dude, he's a great entertainer. Honestly, I had no problem with the halftime show.
I loved all of it.
Just goes on forever. I thought when they came out in the second half, the teams were kind of like, "Oh, we get to play again." I mean, that's the problem with the halftime show,
I honestly, stuff like that, I think Kansas City's used to.
right?
And San Francisco,
It's not.
Right. It's all
I
new
agree.
for them.
I agree. But it was about the coaching too, though, man. That's where coaching is everything when you come out in the second half. The 49ers had to know that they were going to get run after by Kansas City. Kansas City always is a great second half team and finishing games, and that's what makes Mahomes the closer. Mahomes the closer. That dude mentally is like, no, the last 10 minutes of these games count. That's when I'm going to be on point. That's when that guy doesn't make mistakes and did it with his legs. Just when you don't think that guy's going to beat you with his legs, he gains 20 yards on that final overtime drive, and that was a killer.
I loved all those calls, like those third and that fourth down call.
I think those are design runs, though.
Well, the one that he gets on the fourth down, I mean, that's your classic read pass option.
Yep.
You are going to either, if they are trying to keep you from going to the outside, you hand it to Isaiah Pacheco on the inside. They crashed down immediately as soon as that ball was snapped. So you pull and you go out to the outside. Now, the other wrinkle they throw in is Travis Kelce.
Is it going out there?
He's running on the flat route, and they just were right on him. That was the parting of the seas, and it doesn't matter what quarterback you are. You know you need an inch.
Yeah.
You know you need an inch. I'm going to take just running forward and getting the first down. And for him, he got 6 or 7 more and then slid.
Yeah. That's all he needed.
But the slide, Josh Allen, did you see the slide?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to get an extra 5.
Cam Newton, you don't have to dive, get your head in the way.
I will bring up Cam Newton next segment.